Tasting Anarchy, your wine and liberty podcast. Join Mason and Jake each week as they try new wines and discover how much government is in your drink.
Hey guys, it's Mason with Tasting Anarchy here. Hope everybody had a wonderful Childerberg for those of us who got to join us. For those who didn't, there's always Childerberg Dose and the forthcoming other Childerbergs. If you listen to the Friends Against Government podcast bonus Childerberg travel episode, you know what we're talking about. So as Jacob and I promised, this is my end of the mini where I talk about the wine I was enjoying on our last episode with the fabulous, wonderful, awesome, amazing, and super knowledgeable Jackson Blood. So this is the Hernande de Sao Miguel 2015 Echol dos Anglos Red. So this is a red blend. It's 40% Alicante Bouchet, 30% Torga Franca, and 30% Torguina Noquial. So this is a Portuguese. Those, as my understanding of a lot of those reds that I just mentioned, are kind of big and famous in the Portuguese wine. So it's 14.5% alcohol by volume. This was part of the Gold Medal Wine Club wines that I got for my birthday from my wife. It's an ongoing throughout the year wine delivery, so I get 3 per quarter. So this was the first I've opened of it. The others I got in that pack were another red blend and another red blend, but a red blend in a rosé style, so not exactly a full red blend there, so not the best description from me on that part. So to the wine itself, I've got my last glass of it. It is super, super dark, but while it's almost black, you can still see the purple notes in it. It doesn't have a huge nose to it, at least as far as I can tell. Definitely got some red wine smell to it. This is one of those wines that every time I've opened it, it's been a little different from the one before. So I think it's definitely, as it's not aged in the bottle, but aerated in the bottle, because I obviously can't put the cork back in the same way it was before you break it. The original seal, it's changed a bit. So I'm going to take a sip real quick and see if I can give you guys a better description than my mumbling, rumbling ramblings. Yeah, definitely. This feels dry to me, so after the swallow, it kind of dries out my tongue. It has a good coating to that. Very delayed onset heat and burn. I don't remember it having as much of that when I first opened it, so that's really interesting. This glass has been open 15 minutes now at this point. And usually with reds, especially red blends, I try to keep them open a little longer than that before having them. Thanks to Jackson, kind of gave us not necessarily a great description on why to do it, though I'm sure he could. He didn't necessarily have to give us one, but kind of made it clear that, yeah, that's a really good idea. So I try to do it. Have another sip. Yeah, so per my usual not great descriptions, definitely a red wine flavor, very dry, light body, at least the way I understand that. I've really enjoyed it. So last bottle gives you kind of pricing. So they normally say winery retail price $15 or $25 a bottle for this. I would see paying $25 for it, especially if you drink it a little faster than the week, or a little less than a week that I've been drinking it. I think the additional air hasn't really helped it full body. They're saying the palate, according to the description. So Gold Medal Wine Club, they give you really nice information about the wine. They're saying it's full bodied, but I'm not getting that necessarily. Definitely dark red fruits in the flavor, which is they also say in there. So and then what's cool about it is, they can kind of tell you discounts if you got, or to buy a bunch of bottles from them. So it's like if you bought 2+ bottles, it's 18, 6+ bottles, it's 16, 15 bottles, or not 15, $12, or 12+ bottles, it's $15.50. So if you're like Jacob and you buy a massive bulk of wine, they definitely can get you a good discount there. So as I draw the air across the wine, it definitely has a lot of off-gassing of the alcohol in it. 14.5. It could be as low as 13.5 or as high as 15.5. I really do like it. I just wish I had drank it a little faster. I think it would have maintained a stronger flavor throughout if I had done so. So that's kind of my mismanagement of the bottle. So things to plug. Always Childerberg. Follow Childerberg, see Childerberg, go to Childerberg, especially Childerberg Dose, as it'll be the next Childerberg you can attend if you have not a time machine and did not join us on Childerberg 1. So, looking forward to talking to you guys another time. Have a good one.
Hey everybody, it's me, Jake. I'm doing a mini episode today that I promised, I believe, Friday's episode, that is a comparison between two Merlots, a French Merlot and a Texas Merlot. And the Texas Merlot, you'll recognize the brand because this is the brand that used to process and make wine out of Rowdy Boland's grapes, who was one of my guests earlier on the show. Not earlier today, but in a previous episode. And I think that I don't really have a lot of base for Merlot because I think I've only had it in Bordeaux blends. And I kind of wanted, I guess, French to be my base. But these two wines are super, super different. So I'll go ahead and start with the French one. The French one was quite a bit lower price point. I think I got it for about $10. It's one of those that you buy it for $10 and it says it's marked down from like 17 or 16 or something like that. So whether that's true or not, who knows. But it was about $10. It's called Luc Pierlet Reserve Merlot 2017. And I think it was pretty good. One thing that I really thought was particularly interesting about this one, maybe not really good about it, but something that I liked, was the color of it was it was so purple. It was almost like a violet color and really pleasant to look at. A little lighter bodied than, actually quite a bit lighter bodied than most wine I drink. Merlot tends to be, for me at least, I wouldn't say too delicate, but not really up my alley. And even though it normally isn't, since I've been kind of enjoying Pinot Noir a lot more lately, I've also started to kind of revisit Merlot and like it a lot better than I used to. I still think it's great for blending, but as far as by itself, this one didn't really wow me. I thought it was good though. So it had a lot of bold berry flavor. It had a tart finish, so it was acidic. For the price, I mean it was really good. So had a nice aroma. It was definitely like for $10 if I was going to go to a party or whatever and wanted to bring a Merlot. Plus it's got a handsome bottle. This would not be embarrassing at all to bring. And Merlot tends to be a crowd pleaser. It's not offensive. It's not super strong flavored or anything like that. So people like it. So if you're looking for about a $10 to $15 bottle of French Merlot, this one might be a good one for you. Now on to the one that I think is the better of the two, but also, like I said, very, very different. And that is Trilogy Cellars Reserve Merlot 2016 from Hockley County. And that is the one that Rowdy Boland's grapes were used in. It is 13.2% alcohol by volume. I think this is very good. It is a lot more aggressive, much more bold, a lot of fruit flavor, very smooth. I believe that this was a double gold winner at the San Francisco Wine Chronicles competition in, I don't know if it was this one. I think they won in 2015. So I'm not sure if it was the 2016 vintage or the 2015 vintage that won it, but it is a very good wine. A lot of fruit flavor, like I said, some vanilla, a little bit of oakiness, like toasted oak, a little bit of leather. I've talked about this before, that Texas High Plains, a lot of them have like an additional flavor, and I think it's from the heat. So it's got kind of not hot as in like burning your throat hot, but it's got a little bit of heat to it. It's also pretty acidic on the end, but not in the same way as the French one. So I think it's a pretty interesting comparison. And a good way to observe terroir is when you get two of the same varietals. Now they are very different years, but I'm not very different years, 1 year apart, but from year to year it's going to be different. And they are very interesting, both of them. So the Trilogy Cellars one, I don't know how easy it'll be for you guys to pick it up. You can go to their website. They have a different name now, which I believe I mentioned in one of the previous episodes. Well, I don't know what their new name is, but I will maybe put that in the show notes so that it's easier for you guys to find out. So anyways, this is a fun thing to do if you have people coming over. I just had Mason here and we did Friday's episode, which is a nearly $200 bottle of Cab Sauv. I kind of would like to, next time I'm either in Virginia or he's in Texas, instead of doing a really expensive bottle of something, maybe he and I can do some comparison stuff. Maybe get 3 bottles of something he likes from very different places, similar vintage, and just see how they are, because it's kind of a fun thing to do. So I recommend, if you guys want to have some friends over and do something like this, it's a good way to have sort of a house party. Just have a couple of different ones, do a tasting. Merlot's a great place to start because there's a lot of Merlot available, and you can get it from some kind of unusual places like Texas. And you might be pleasantly surprised because this Trilogy Cellar one, and soon Rowdy Bowen will be having his own vineyard or winery open using his grapes, and you'll be able to get his probably online, maybe only in Texas at first, but stay tuned to the show because there's actually some pretty important Supreme Court cases going through right now that will maybe decide what's available direct order state to state. So it may end up being a lot simpler down the road. I think that's it. That's really all I wanted to say on this episode, but because I recorded this a lot later than I expected, let me go ahead and take a couple of minutes to say what a great time I had at Childeberg 1. Organizing it was a little bit of a bear, but I think it paid off big time. We had such a good time. We visited only 2 of the 3 wineries we wanted to. We went to Torna Locks and I think it's pronounced Parissos. Really, really good wine. I think maybe it was a little ambitious to try to visit 3 in a day, especially with a group that size. And we were just having such a good time at the other ones that we kind of lost track of time and didn't make it to the 3rd. But then once we were back at the campsite, we had a brewer who had come down, share some of his beers with us. We popped a couple of corks from some wines that I brought down as well. Just talked Liberty. We didn't only talk Liberty. We talked whatever people were interested in. We talked about a whole bunch of different things. I had a really great conversation with Dino from the Dino Files, and I'd like to say to him again, thank you very much for designing the Childeberg 1 logo. I'll be working closely with him again to get another shirt for Childeberg Dose, which is going to be coming up soon. And by soon, I mean in a year. And I had a great time. It feels really, really good to have put it on and everybody to have had a good time. And we had great weather until the very end of the day on Sunday, but most of us had already left by then. And those who didn't were able to take refuge in the shower house. But I think that it was definitely a good inaugural event that is going to usher in a continuing annual Liberty Gathering in Central Texas. So I'm going to be promoting it on the show. You can follow me at Tasting Anarchy. You can also follow me at Childeberg on Twitter to get news and updates. That's all I've got to say today, guys, so stay free.
Knock down windows and tear down doors, drinking half gallons and calling for more, drinking wine, sporty, you to drink wine, wine, sporty, you to drink wine, wine, sporty, you to drink wine, pass that bottle to me, hoy, drink at me, oh, give me some of that slop, oh, pass that bottle to me. If you want to get along in Peterstown, buy some wine and pass it around. Age runs up to 49. All them cats, they love sweet wine. Drinking wine, sporty, you to drink wine. Wine, sporty, you to drink wine. Wine, sporty, you to drink wine. Pass that bottle to me. Hoy! Wine, wine, wine. Elderberry. Wine, wine, wine. Cherry, cherry. Wine, wine, wine. Blackberry. Wine, wine, wine. Port and sherry. Wine, wine, wine. Oh, pass that bottle to me. Now down on Gill Street at Willie's Den, he wasn't selling but American gin. One soldier wanted a bottle of wine. He hipped that cat for $1 and a dime. Drinking wine, sporty, you to drink wine. Wine, sporty, you to drink wine. Wine, sporty, you to drink wine. Pass that bottle to me. Now I got a nickel, have you got a dime? Let's get together and get some wine. Somebody's fifth and somebody's fourth. When you get together, you're doing things smart. Drinking wine, sporty, you to drink wine. Wine, sporty, you to drink wine. Wine, sporty, you to drink wine. Pass that bottle to me.